Welcome to Creative Commercial Real Estate Show. I have a special guest today, Jon Marshalla of KO Storage. He has a couple other irons in the fire as well. Today we're going to talk about tips for LPs on how to vet sponsors, and we're going to talk about tips for GPs, how to keep it stupid simple in order to raise money from your network and leverage referrals. Welcome to the show.
The views shared on this podcast are those of Mike Sowers and do not represent those of Commercial Investors Group. The information shared is not investment advice. Please consult your financial, legal, and tax advisors before making an investment decision.
There are two kinds of people in the world. Those that worry sharing their ideas will hinder their success, and those who are driven by the success of others. The first kind view everyone as a competitor. They guard their playbook tight to their chest, rarely collaborate outside their inner circle, and are reluctant to show their cards. Then there are the second kind, the kind who have graduated from the first category. They don't count the number of deals they've done. What counts to them is the number of people they impact and the depth to which they impact them. Achievement is still important to them, but it's subordinated to the depth of their purpose. So they give freely of their time, knowledge, and expertise to build a bridge for those who follow in their footsteps. These are the people who were called to change the world. These are the people who develop people, places, and ideas. And this is the show where they do it on the Creative Commercial Real Estate Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the show, Jon Marshalla. I'm excited to have a conversation today. You have a few different businesses. Why don't we start off? Tell me about a couple of your businesses and what you're working on.
Which one do you want to start with, Mike?
Let's start with KO Storage.
KO Storage. What can I tell you?
Just tell me a little bit about your journey there. I mean, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the show, I know you've launched multiple rounds of funds. Our listener audience is limited partners, busy professionals who are looking to get their money deployed into good opportunities. And it's also general partners who need to raise money from those types of people to get good deals across the finish line. So I want to talk a little bit today about tips, kind of the secret sauce about how to raise capital effectively. And then why it's so compelling for your audience of LPs to get in on these types of deals, whether it's through a fund structure or a deal direct type structure.
So your audience is GPs and LPs?
Correct.
Okay. So when it comes to raising capital, the most important thing is to know your worth and to know your role and to not get too big for your britches. That goes for investing and raising. Raise at the level that you've worked. So when I see people get twisted, it's when they're like, they have $100 grand in the bank, but they're raising $100 million. Like, why are you raising $100 million if you have a $100,000 net worth? You see what I'm saying? It's you're like shooting for the moon. It's like, you ever play the game Hearts on the computer? Remember back in the day?
Yeah.
You know how when you play Hearts, you go out and you get each heart is worth 1 point, and then the Queen of Spades is worth 13 points. So there's 26 points every game.
Yeah.
And but what you can do is if you get all the hearts and the Queen, you shoot the moon, and everybody else gets 26 points.
Yeah.
But it's risky because if one heart slips out, if one little thing slips out, you're stuck with 24 points, 23 points. So you're like holding everything together, juggling all these balls, putting all this pressure on yourself to shoot the moon. So what Andrew and I did in our business at KO Storage, our first facility, we didn't have any money. I was broke. I was living a high lifestyle. I was flying around Vegas, partying, popping bottles, living at the edge, gambling with money I couldn't afford. It was a blast. I had so much fun. But I'm sitting here back at home playing credit card balance game transfer. It was just. I mean, I was living beyond my means in my 20s. Now I do it. It's a joke. Like, I gotta go buy $20,000, $30,000 bottle table. But none of that shit matters anymore. It's just I do it for other people. I don't even really drink anymore. But the reality is, when you are raising capital, okay, raise at the level you deserve. So I don't really need to raise capital anymore. I can just invest my own. but I like to raise because I like to give my friends good investment opportunities. I find really good opportunities. Andrew finds incredible opportunities. So we kind of like to give people the opportunity to tag along with us. It's really easy to go find an office. Like I'm buying a $2 million office building in Agora Hills, California, 100% vacant. It's on a 42-year ground lease next to a substation. Sounds like toxic real estate, right?
Yeah.
But I got all the tenants. My buddy who I met, he's this medical provider, Brian Culbertson, Sports IQ USA, is based out of the Four Seasons. They do bioresonance frequency healing, sportsiquusa.com. And his good friend Jared, they are some of the best medical providers in the world. They're partnering with me on it. We're buying this $2.1 million office building, 21,000 square feet, 100% vacant, Class A. And they have tenants ready to lease it. So we're going to have the thing leased by the time we close with medical office, medical tenants. We're going to office out of there. And as leased, I mean, should be 400 to 600K of NOI on things. So I don't know what cap rate. I don't really know what kind of cap rates a 42-year ground lease in California trade at, but like, and I'm pretty good at math, but like 6 cap, 7 cap, it doesn't really matter. You got 600K of NOI. A 10 cap is $5 million. And we're putting 300K down on a $2 million office building. And I'm letting them, they're each coming in. They're doing all the work. I'm just like kind of behind the scenes, just let my attorney do stuff. So like, those are the kind of real estate deals that I do. Cause I want to cause they're the best people in the world. And I want to set them up for success with real estate behind their medical business. So storage is great. It's one of the best industries in the world because it's not flashy. Nobody people store their junk. You know, it's a roll up door. It's a box of air. KO Storage's model has been dumb it down, less bells and whistles, less tech, reduce efficiencies, streamline operations. Like everything has been like, we don't need to sell 10, like these guys sell 10 grand worth of boxes. And then you have to pay sales tax on it. So you're like, you got a person sitting there with a terminal. You have your credit card swiper. You have to keep inventory with your boxes. You have to pay an accountant to keep your balance sheet. You have to keep your supply chain in stock, to keep your boxes in stock. And then you have to swipe the card. You have to keep the bank account. Somebody has to enter the journal entry. Like this is all these things have to happen to sell one customer one box for $10. Is that worth it for $2? No. That's why KO has been able to grow, because we remove every moving part and we just give the customer what they want in the market they're in. We don't have brand standards. Like our facility in a tiny town in one state is different than our facility in a big town in another different state, because the people in population 500, Wisconsin, don't want a 3-story climate control. They want 2 trailers and a roll-up door. So we just say, okay, KO Storage is the name, but we're going to give you 2 trailers and a roll-up door here. But then we're doing a $12 million development in Forest Hill, Maryland. KO Construction, our team is incredible. Elijah Ronning's running the team over there. Ryan Nelson, Fakeem, our guy. I mean, these guys are just absolutely crushing it for us. We built over 2 million square feet with KO Construction. But like we're diverse. We'll build anything. We'll build a 3-story climate controlled Class A that will probably sell the extra space for public. It's across the street from an extra space, so maybe I'll just paint everything green and maybe they'll just buy it from me. I like to make jokes. I know the guys at Extra. They're fucking awesome. Sorry, can I swear on this podcast? I don't.
We'll leave it in there.
Let's cut it. Let's cut it. We want to be professional, okay? The guys at Extra Space are friggin' awesome. The guys at Public are friggin' awesome. Everybody in the storage space is great. We're a big old band of fun. Like I went to Vegas a couple weeks ago for the storage show, met with Chuck Gordon, CEO of Storable, and then I DJ'd. Like I came to my DJ show at Excess. I opened for Dustin Lynch. Chuck Gordon's there in his suit with Brett Hatcher and the Cobras. We're all just jamming out in the DJ booth at Excess. Like storage. On the surface, storage is it's the ugly duckling of real estate. But we go to these conferences and like, bro, it makes these Miami high flying suit guys look like fun. It's hilarious, man. we're literally renting storage doors, and we're just making good money, and we're living our best lives behind the scenes. It's a blast. So anyway, I just went on a little monologue there. So you got any? I'm happy to answer any other questions. So I just been thinking about this stuff lately.
So, what advice do you have for raising capital more efficiently for a fund?
So raising capital is easy. I have one piece of advice for raising capital. Go to people who trust you and ask them to trust you with their money, and then do right by them. Don't convince. The easiest way. There's a lot of ways to raise capital. You can go to somebody you don't know. You go to private equity. You can paper 100-page PPM. I've done it. I've written my own PPMs. I've raised capital every which way. I've raised me, Andrew. We raised $250 million, but we've never used private equity. We've never used the family office. We've only done individual investors. We have over 550 people that have invested with us. But most of those people, to my knowledge, they're all really smart, sharp, amazing sharp. I have the best investors in the world because they trust me. They don't bother me. They don't nitpick. They don't question things. They're like, okay, Ron's got his eye on the ball. He's taking care of his house. He's taking care of my house. I'm comfortable that my $1 million is being watched by John. And you know what? I'm in the owner's box right now with EOS, with KO Storage. So I'm not even in the day-to-day. I don't even write the investor updates, but I see them when they go out and I read them all. And I check my stats. I get my updates from my team. I know that everything's good. I know that despite the rocky interest rate market, that my investors' money is safe, thriving, and that we're all going to make a shitload of money when the rates come down and we sell. And there's just zero, we've never lost an investor dollar and not made them whole. And Andrew and I never really lost an investor dollar. We've just never.
Well, how do you find more investors though if you're just starting off and you don't have
referrals, word of mouth
from your existing network?
It's all been word of mouth. We've never done 506C. It's all 506B. My first call was my dad. He's my first investor. My next call is my best friend. These guys are giving me $50K just like as a favor, right? Our first property, Andrew and I, is a $500,000 property in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. He found it on Craigslist. He pulls me aside. He's like, "Hey, bro, we got to buy this." We use his dad's $15,000 line of credit at the bank. At that line, pay $15,000 in back taxes on Black River Falls, Wisconsin self-storage. Go to Nick Skiba at Citizen State Bank. We assume the debt from the guy that owned it. 2 weeks later, we were out there with 50-yard dumpsters filling them up with the local church so that we were like, hey, the church can take donations of any of the goods. We filled the dumpsters, and then we leased the whole thing up. And that building's probably worth $700,000-800K now. But that's where Andrew and I, that was our first storage deal. We bought another one in Wisconsin Dells. We bought another one. Then we bought one in Annandale. For 2 years, we did it with our own money. We were feeding it with money from our e-com business. And then we're like, shit, we're finding good deals in this tertiary, secondary market. There's a lot of opportunity. Let's go. We did a ton. We raised $400,000. We put a private placement together because I'd done it in a prior life. Little mini PPM. Is it 506B or C? The B is the private one. We never did public. Always private. 506B. And we raised again. We did the deal, and we had did that from 2018 to 2022, and then in 2022 we did our first fund. So from 2018 to 22, we probably raised $100 million, $500K to $10 million at a time. And then in 22 we did our first fund. We raised $35 million. We raised that in about a month. We just had a big investor list. All the people that had ever asked us, hey, you want to do it? Andrew and I created a pitch deck. Pitch decks are kind of stupid. Nobody really reads pitch decks. Everybody puts way too much energy into the pitch deck. You as an investor now, when somebody sends me a pitch deck, I'm like, TLDR, okay, who are you? Can I trust you with my money? Do I like your vision? Are you giving me a fair valuation? Less is more. If you want an investment from someone, spend your time getting to know them, build trust with them. if I trust somebody, I'll cut them a $100K check and say, like, send me the paperwork. I trust you. I'll sign it. I won't even read it because I don't care. Like, I believe that they're going to value and treasure my $100,000 and they're going to get it back to me. And if they don't, I know that they give it their best shot and I don't care. But if someone comes to me with this ironclad agreement and mountains of paperwork, I'm like, that just sounds like a headache. I don't need to make money. I'm not. Investors aren't trying to make money in these little investments. They're really not. I'm not trying to make 100. Like, maybe they are. Maybe some are. I'm not. I'm just trying to enable people to, like, grow and make a little money doing it. So I can't speak on anybody else's behalf, but for me, if you want to get my attention, show me I can trust you. Show me you're a hard worker. Keep it simple. Make my life easier, not harder. I don't want 50K ones that I have to fight before. Like, I'm busy living. I don't need to work anymore. I'm sitting here at my lake house in Minnesota. I'm going to Malibu tomorrow. Like, I like to work. I like to do this shit. It's fulfilling, but I should just be hanging out with my wife, cruising the lake, enjoying life. And that's what most people like to do too. So life is meant to be lived. It's not meant to be sitting in a chair 8 to 5. I did that for 7-8 years and ground, and we had a lot of success. So
A couple of questions. This is how I end all my shows. If you had advice for yourself when you were 18, what would you tell yourself?
stop caring about money so much. Money doesn't fucking matter.
That's good. If you have one day left to live, how would you spend it?
With my wife, best friends, and family on a boat. Anywhere in the world, doesn't matter. Hopefully somewhere warm, but whatever. On the water for sure, though, with the most important people in my life.
Very nice. Well, thanks for coming on the show today, Jon. Appreciate having you on.
Thank you. If you want to learn how to make money on these types of deals through our Diversified Commercial Real Estate Fund, please reach out and inquire and schedule a call at www.cre-fund.com.